Welcome back to my channel. It's Danny here from Our Humble Home, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I apply adhesive wood look wall panels that I bought from Target. They also sell them in Kmart. They just never had any when I needed mine. I got the idea because I do love these wall panels that I've seen before, and this is actually wood. It's like an oak veneer type of wood, and it's like a half dowel. It's just that this wood, when it's actual wood, it's very expensive and a lot more expensive. So I would have needed, for what I'm doing, I would have needed 9 panels. So that would have been over about $1,000 for me. And that was just not in my budget. I didn't want to spend that amount of money. And so that is why I found these faux sort of wood looking panels from Target a great option. And so I looked them up and had a look to see what they were like, what they were made out of. And they're made out of, well, I guess it's like a paper type of thing. So cross-link polyethylene, aluminum, and paper. And they have, you can see they're like a spongy sort of stuff in between. I guess that's what gives it the three-dimensional look. So I thought, why not go ahead and buy them? I looked in Kmart, they never had any, but in Target they had some. So I popped in there and grabbed them. And I thought, let's see what happens. So this is the area I want to make over. It's just our family room, and I haven't changed it in a long time. We used to watch the TV there. Kids used to watch the TV there. This brown couch has really had its day. It's such a big piece of furniture in a small space, and brown, and not the nicest looking piece of furniture, so I'm saying goodbye to that. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is just cleaning the space and getting rid of everything that's in there. So I'm just removing this PowerPoint cover because it's disgusting. It's probably been there the whole time we've been in the house, which is going on 30 years now, which is unbelievable to think. And I also want to remove this antenna point, but I found this a lot harder than I anticipated, and I got to one point and I really worried, am I going to electrocute myself? And I posted a question on the Bunnings site, and someone got back to me and said, no, it's okay, you are allowed to remove them because the voltage in there is so low, it wouldn't hurt you anyway. So as long as you put electrical tape around where you've cut and pop it back into the wall, that's fine. If I'm going to line the panels up with the edge, I just wanted to make sure that the wall was straight. So I'm just lining the level, and you can see it's straight. It's right smack bang in there. Sometimes if the wall's not straight and you line your wallpaper up or whatever you're putting on the wall and it's not straight, then it's going to go crooked all the way along. And so normally they suggest you go in a little bit and draw a straight line, and then you know it will be straight and the pattern will be straight. But in this instance, it's all good. So I actually read the instructions for this, which is unusual for me. And I noticed on the instructions, because I knew it was peel and stick, but it's not a removable peel and stick. So it says it's not designed to be removed. And so here I go, taking the backing paper off, not thinking how sticky it may be, and it just got so sticky, it was ridiculous. I spent ages, and I sort of wrecked this panel. In the end, I sort of straightened it out. It was a bit wonky, so I didn't use it. So that's one thing. It is not removable, and I dare say then it's not suitable if you have a rental, and even if you don't have a rental, getting it off is going to be quite a problem. So what I'm going to do is just peel off a little bit at a time, because if this sticks to itself, it's pretty much done. So I was very careful with it, and I just peeled a little bit at a time off. But the very, very first piece, you need to get it straight and you need to get it in the right position, because that's going to set the scene for the rest of your pieces. I did have an idea though, for those people who are renting, it might be a hack, and even for people who aren't, and I wish I did this myself had I thought of it beforehand. Instead of applying your wood look panel directly to the wall, get some peel and stick wallpaper that will come off pretty easily. Maybe not Kmart wallpaper, because that falls off by itself, but peel and stick wallpaper, put that on the area you want your wooden panel, and then when it comes time to peel it off, it will be fine. So you put your wallpaper on, you put the wooden panel over that, and then you'll be fine when it comes to peeling it off, because as you can see here, when you go to peel it off, the longer it is on, the harder it is to peel off, and it's pretty much impossible. So I don't know how I'm going to get it off. Maybe a heat gun or something like that. We'll have to wait and see. Just applying masking tape. I wasn't going to, because the panel's going to cover it anyway, but I'm thinking if this is so sticky and the gyprock was a little bit ripped, it's just going to rip the gyprock right off. So I thought if I put masking tape there, that would be a little bit more gentle when it comes time for me to remove it. So with the next panel, I'm going to encounter the PowerPoint, and I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to tackle this. I thought originally maybe I will just, before I actually put it on, cut it out, sort of figure out where it is on the panel and cut it out. But I thought it might be better if I just do it bit by bit once I've actually applied the panel. I really took my time. It's sped up, but I did take my time, and I just went little by little, because if I cut too much off, then there's no going back from that sort of thing. So it worked out okay in the end. And also you got to remember the plate will go over that too, and it will sort of cover any of the rough edges around the light fitting. This is what I've got. I may have to go around this and cut a bit more off, just so I can fit. I'll buy a new fresh plate and put that back on, but it's not too bad. I just went around the corner. I just scooped it around, just hoping that by the time I get to the end of that wall, it is straight. So I'm up to this point. I was just a bit worried that it might not be level, but it's pretty good. Actually, it's really good. It's not too bad. It's a teeny bit off. So maybe if I just bring the next sheet out a bit at the top, it will be okay. That's okay. I was just worried about the end. If it was not level at the end, it would be very noticeable, but I'm pleased with that. That's good. I'll keep going. I've only got 2 more sheets to do. I really have to say that I think it was a bit of a fluke that panel at the very end just fit perfectly. Like it lined up perfectly with the wall. It was straight, but also it was a full panel because it could very easily have been half one of those panels. And what I would suggest if you are unsure, instead of curling around the corner of the wall, I would stop in the corner and I would start at the other end of the wall and go across to the corner and then cut that, because if you have to cut this down the middle of one of those panels, you are going to see the foam and you don't want the foam to be showing on the actual wall. So I was very, very lucky with that. But that's not where I'm stopping. I am going to actually put a dado rail on the top, and I thought that would look cute. It was left over from a project I did, the baby change table, and it won't be that one, but that was an offcut that I had, and I thought, oh, that might look really cute. So I just had that in mind, but I thought I would wait and see and just maybe weigh up some other options. You can't really see there how, well, it's not yellowy, it's a lot more yellow and orange than it actually looks there. And so what I wanted to do was make it lighter. It's sort of deceiving, like here it looks a lot lighter. So I thought what I'm going to do is whitewash it. You can actually paint these panels apparently too, so I could have painted them, but I want that wood look, but I didn't want it too orangey, and it is hard to see. So if you ever go into Target or Kmart, just go and have a look at them and you will see what I mean. They look very orangey pine sort of thing, and I wanted them to look more oaky. So all I did was make up a really probably 50-50 white paint wash, and I painted over it and wiped it down. I used a paintbrush, but by the time I got to the end, my rag was so full of whitewash, I could have just used the rag to go over it. So you could even just dip the rag and squeeze it out in the whitewash and just wipe it down with the rag. It would be a lot quicker. Now it's time for the actual dado rail, and I thought I would just try a few different colors, because at this point I was going to use this wave design, and I had a look to see if I could find any other people that had done that. That was actually a sticker, but I thought pink might be nice, like a musty pink, or that looks pretty green there, but it was more like a beige sort of color. I ended up buying some pine panels because I was going to cut them as a wave design, but in the end I decided against it. I thought it looked a little bit kiddie room, nursery type thing for a family room, so I just thought I would paint these pine boards and use them as the picture rail on the top of the panels. And you can sort of see that little lip there, and it was sort of perfect actually to put the rail on. I never had a stud finder, as you can see. I nailed everywhere until I found where the studs were, and you can see where the little crosses are there. That's where the actual studs were. And I ended up just, because the rail would have to go over the cross, I just put a bit of masking tape above it so I could know exactly where to nail, but I didn't want to glue it either. I didn't want a hard as nails glue, because I thought that's going to rip everything off too if I ever wanted to remove it, or if I made a mistake and I didn't like it. I thought that's not going to be good for the wall. Yeah, so I did make a few boo-boos, but ultimately they'll be easy to cover up. And then I just applied the rail, and that was pretty easy. I'm using just a screw to actually make an indent push the nail in, so when it comes to filling it with wood filler, you're not going to see the nail. Okay, so I normally you'd miter the corners there, the join, but I didn't. I just sort of butted them up against each other, and they did look a bit wonky and gross. But after I filled it with wood filler and I sanded it back, and after I'd painted it, you wouldn't even notice that there were nails there. You wouldn't notice that there was a gap, and that came up really well. I did sand back where I'd actually put the wood filler, and then I gave it a few more coats of paint. So all in all, I absolutely love it. A few things you need to know. One, get your first panel straight, because this is not removable. It's not going to be easily removable. It's not appropriate or suited for rental people, I wouldn't say, because I would say that it could damage your wall when you were removing it, if you could remove it. But then I gave you the hack for that. You could always try that. The color is more yellow and orangey than it appears originally in the video, so I whitewashed it, and you can actually also paint it. Another thing is it's not super hard wearing, so I would try not to get anyone dig their nails into it, knock it, or anything like that, because it is ultimately only paper type of thing. Thanks guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next week, and bye for now.
You're acting up for all the attention. Your lies spread like a wildfire. You're just mean, yeah, you're a wannabe girl. You can play hide and seek with my emotions, falling around with all this commotion, trying to get on my level, but you never win. If karma was a person,